So what we're doing is we're combining a little bit of the E blues scale. Apparently it fits in with the A scale. Those notes are in the E blues scale. And this is an E note. I can't play guitar, but... So one of the things that Bobby Radcliffe taught me when early on in my first guitar lessons was that when you bend the note, you're not just bending it to bend it, you're bending it to make a specific sound. And that's probably, so you're really making this note. So that when you bend, the bend is a specific note. It's not just like, you know, something groovy. It's a note. And another thing is that there's a certain flow to it, and that there's a rhythm to it, and that the beauty of it is when you find that rhythm inside of your hands and inside of your brain. So, you know, make it flow, make it sound sweet, make it beautiful, and practice the flow as well as the notes. As you're playing it, think about it, because I've never really examined this before. I just played it the way Bobby showed me, but now I notice I can do this. So it's, but. And when I'm doing this, all I'm doing is I'm just going to the 5th fret, which is the A, and I'm just playing the top 3 notes, and then the 4th string on the 7th. Stevie Ray Vaughan right there. Doing is I just can't play guitar. Bend, so you're bending on the third string, 7th fret. So it's 7 7 5 7 7 5 7. really not that hard. It's 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3, and I'm just on the 3rd and the 4th string, 7th and 5th fret. Da 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 da, and then it goes da 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 da, and it's just on the 5th and the 7th. Da 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 da. Then it goes 7 5 7 5 on the 3rd string. So 4. So all you're really doing is playing on the 3rd and 4th string on the 5th and 7th fret. And it's just, I mean, it's really not that hard. It's a little bit, you know, you do have to get the rhythm down, but the notes, it's easy to play. It's just the 5th and the 7th on the 3rd and the 4th. It's not that hard. So it's 4th string, 5 5 7 5 7, 4th string, 7 7 5 7, back to the 3rd string. 5 7 7 twice, 5th, then back to the 4th string, 7 5 7 7 5, then the 5 on the 3rd string. So on the 5th string, you're often playing it twice. 1 2 and 1 2, 1 2 and 1 2, wah 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 wah. So on the 7th fret, we're playing the notes twice often. So the extra note is on the 7th fret. The fact is that it's going to sound right when you do it right. And you just get it in your head, the right sound, and then suddenly it's not that hard. It's just on the 5th and the 7th fret. So you can just then add any shit you want to it, just so long as you keep the beat going. Essentially playing an A chord and then a D chord, and then I'm playing the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, and then bending them up. I can't play guitar though. One of the things that I do is that I eat the same foods every day. Mm-hmm. I know exactly what's in them. I know the nutrients. I know the calories, etc. I also am able then in the MyFitnessPal app to simply save the meals that I eat. And once I've saved the meals that I eat, it's very easy. You just go in and you just click on that meal, and now you've done it. The important thing is that to understand that we are absolutely not dieting. I mean, last night I ate gelato. I ate a half a thing of gelato. We're not dieting. We are simply logging what we eat and the exercise that we do. All you have to do is enter what you eat. The database is gigantic and has everything. And then what you do is you just learn to save the meal. There's a way to simply save the meal. You save the meal and bingo, it's there for you. Then also, because you're essentially eating the same thing every day, you know exactly what you're eating. And it gets to the point where if you want to then eat where you will either lose or gain weight, because I know people who have needed to gain weight, right? All you do is log the food, and then your brain will take over, and it will help you to either gain or lose the weight, because it's your brain and your desire that's going to do it, not a diet. And it's the discipline of entering the MyFitnessPal every day that makes the fucking difference. So first the deep breath, and then the feeling inside. And then what I do is whatever might be worrying me, I then apply that feeling to that, and I also try to radiate the feeling outward towards everything, towards the people on the subway, towards the computer monitor. And that when I find that as I take that lovely feeling and generate it outwards, it gets really, really stronger inside of me as I send it outwards. And that when I'm feeling shitty or when I'm feeling pain, etc., I just practice that simple breathing shit, and I feel much better. So that's $20. You'll have to send me $20, okay? At least. The reason is that because you have suddenly developed discipline to log what you're eating and to log your exercise, suddenly that discipline becomes applicable to all of the other things that you do in your life. It's the discipline that makes you practice your guitar, that makes you go to your job, for God's sakes, you know. So the idea is to develop the discipline and then apply it to every other aspect of your life. And I promise you, it works. Little, when you're done, so there's a vibrato with the index finger. And then, so you go, then you switch your ring finger to the to the second fret, and then on the 8th, 9th, and 10th on the high string, and then bend it up. So, and again, take the notes, keep the rhythm going, and then make up your own shit, because that's what really makes the fucking difference. And just so you don't have to play it exactly the same way each time, and you don't have to play it the way I play it. But what you have to do is you have to get the technique and then turn it into your own music, and then it's going to be fucking beautiful, and everybody's going to love you, and you'll get all the YouTube views. Last thing, okay? So because I'm doing this with you today, and I've only done it the same way every day for my entire life since I've known it, I actually forced myself, didn't force myself, but I used my brain. In other words, I just looked at other notes around it. And I discovered that actually I am playing parts of the E blues scale like this. So I can play that note as part of the blues scale. Anyhow, that's bullshit. But the civilizations and cultures were developed in opposition to barbarity, to barbarism. Barbarism was no culture, no civilization. Civilization is the elimination of barbaric behavior and the imposition of rules. But interestingly enough, the rules that were then imposed, first of all, put all of the men in charge. Right. Women were not in fucking charge of anything. Why? Again, because we're coming from these barbaric animals, and the biggest man is the one that was in charge. And if you didn't like it, he would beat you to death, and then you just, you know, that's it. And women were not part of that. So that the patriarchy was built into the cultures that have developed into what we are today. How many women are in charge? Very, very few. The other thing is that the barbarians also were warlike. And we then built into our cultures the conception of a just war. It is okay to go out and kill all those people. Why? Well, because our supreme leader told us to, and of course God told us to do it. God said, you must kill your enemy, you are right, and they are wrong, and you must kill them. Built into our society. And that the underlying foundation and structure of human culture is patriarchy and fear of the enemy, and therefore war. Mm. And if we would just fucking stop that shit, we would be so much better off. But guess what?
Morning?
Oh yeah, but so I'm using a pick. And what I'm doing is, I mean, I've always played this exactly the same way. You know, when I'm able to actually play. But, so, because you wanted to go more deeply into it, I started to just play around with it, and I realized that actually one of the things that I'm doing is that although I'm playing in A, that I'm playing the blues scale in E. Those notes are all in the blues scale of E. Not this one, but this one. So then what I started to do is you suck. And then I don't play with the pick. I just broke this pick because I suck. See what I do to picks?
Wow. Oh, wow.
Anyhow, so what we're doing is so that's the 11th fret, middle finger on the 3rd string, and then the triangle that we've played in many different places, I call it the triangle. So then you play